All right, so usually when we reveal your top five, we kind of gloss over it, but today we're going to take a little deeper dive. Before we do that, who outside your top five is a team that could still make a run to the Super Bowl?
I still think there's a bunch of teams here when you really look at it. The Buffalo Bills have a young quarterback. They're playing well. They got a good running game. They got good defense. I think the Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson, is definitely one of those top-tier quarterbacks. Couple question marks about some of his receivers, and a guy like Will Fuller needs to be healthy and do the things he's supposed to do in order to help them win. The Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers, they're not quite there, but they're pretty darn good. And when you got a quarterback like that, one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League and in history, I think you have an opportunity. The Minnesota Vikings, coming off a tough loss against the Seattle Seahawks, but could have very easily won that football game. Some things went Seattle's way there. And who would we not talk about if we're not talking about Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs? Although they have some question marks and they have a big game against the New England Patriots at New England this week, you look at that team and say to yourself, if Andy Reid can do some things that maybe he hasn't done fully in the past and get these guys over a couple of humps, offense, defense, special teams, they're definitely somebody that could be in the hunt, get themselves in the Super Bowl, and make some hay.
All right, let's go to the top five now. And New England, who'd spent most of the year at number one, slipped down to number five.
Yeah, I look at New England Patriots. There's just some things there coming out of their locker room and the way Tom Brady's talking that kind of bother me. They're just not clicking all the way. They don't have that top-end receiver. Outside of Julian Edelman, whether it's Sanu, Dorsett, Harry, or Myers, somebody's got to step up bigger in their production. Seattle Seahawks, look, Russell Wilson's playing unbelievable. Big win against Minnesota on Monday night. They're phenomenal. The New Orleans Saints sitting good. Quarterback's back. They're doing good. They got a good defense, great coach, and a Super Bowl-type coach in Sean Payton. The San Francisco 49ers, it's hard for me to get them out of number one, to be honest with you, because they're young and talented, and with bad weather, being at Baltimore, it still was one of those rock'em sock'em great games that you hope's going to happen in the Super Bowl. But the Baltimore Ravens, 8 wins in a row, hard to go against them at number one.
I do want to say the one game I can't wait to see coming up very, very soon, Seattle and San Francisco for the AFC or for the NFC West. I mean, that looks like right now Seattle, they really roll. They're always good late in the season, but there just seems to be something about this team.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that's probably the best matchup before the Super Bowl. The NFC flipped because of what Seattle did to Minnesota, which is great for the Seattle fan, but San Francisco's young, talented. They got another shot at it. Very, very good game coming up.